I don't know. Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Nation. I'm your man, Rod Levin. With me is none other than the General, Attorney Greg Jackson.
Once again, it's on, Brother Love. You know how we get this thing started every week, man. How's this weekend for you this past week?
Greg, I don't know about you. I mean, you turned me on to the hockey deal. You helped me learn something about hockey. But, man, have you been checking out this World Cup soccer?
Listen, man, we kind of talking about this. I don't know how it is that these years have passed by that I haven't really gotten into soccer. And just this past Thursday, I was actually out of town. I've been traveling a lot more too. And on top of those, I've been traveling with this new role I have. And I find myself in a watering hole watching the U.S. play Turkey. Not Turkey anymore. It's not Turkey anymore. It's Turkey. Cheering the U.S. To a loss, but cheering nonetheless at a hockey game, which I never thought that I would do.
Great. I went to Orlando City Soccer about a month ago.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting back, me and my wife were there, man, and that was the first one I went to.
The first hockey game?
Yeah, and I'm looking at the count up.
Yeah.
I play football.
Yeah.
The clock counts down.
Yeah.
But Greg, it was exciting, man. And those guys run for 90 minutes.
Well, they
get some
90 minutes.
Oh shoot, Greg.
Come on, man.
They did some substituting, but they may have substituted, man, maybe 2 players.
But listen, here's a crazy thing for me, because technically the game, you have 2 45-minute halves. But if something happens, they can add additional time to the 45 minutes that they have, to where you don't. I mean, so I was watching the U.S. game against Turkey, and it ended, but I didn't even know that it had ended at that particular time, because it ended with the goal, and the time ended or something, and the game was over. Man. And I thought they had more time to try to hopefully, tie the game back up, because it was 2-2 at the time. I thought they were going to have a chance to tie it up. So,
hey, Greg, I'm doing my work today, and I couldn't focus on my work because Brazil played Japan today.
How'd that game go?
Down, it was 2 minutes left.
Uh-huh.
It was a tie game.
0-0?
1-1.
Okay.
And who do you think scored?
So, I'm going to say this, only because this one particular country has been doing a magnificent job with this athlete, Japan.
They did not.
They didn't.
They did, but it was interesting, Greg, that they were in the game up until 2 minutes, and Brazil scored.
Well, listen, if I go off of history now, I would say Brazil. But if I'm going off of, what Japan is doing in track and field and baseball and basketball and different sports like that, I would say that, that Japan had a punch.
But I would say you're right. I would say you're right, because Japan is financially investing in those events, those sports.
Oh yeah. So that's why I went that way. But I'm not shocked that Brazil pulled it out, because Brazil has been a soccer powerhouse for years upon years. So,
well, man, that's our little kind of sidebar, because normally I'd be saying, man, let's call your dad, because he knows all. But Greg, can you tell people who they're listening to this?
Listen, man, if you all are tuned in and seeing these 2 faces, you're tuned in to 2 of the most influential voices in Central Florida on a Monday night podcast. Brother Love and Greg Jackson, the dynamic duo guaranteed to raise your IQs 15 to 20 points. And on some nights, Brother Love, we get up to 25 or 30. But if you want to be a part of the night show, all you got to do is use those little Twitter fingers and go to see us on Facebook, or you can dial 407-921-6195. Again, that's 407-921-6195 to talk to Brother Love and Greg Jackson, the dynamic duo. Brother Love, let's get it on.
Well, hey, Brother Jackson, man, here is what we have for weeks. I mean, we've been bringing candidates in. Matter of fact, last week we brought.
But not candidates.
We bring elected officials, and we're bringing candidates on the show. And last week, we happened to bring a Republican and a Democratic
representative
from the House.
From Florida, yeah.
And the topic was none other than property tax reform.
Property tax
reform. That was a great...
Well, that and my request to take a look at the speed limit bill that they've had.
Hey, Greg,
I got to get some reprieve on that.
They're not rescinding that. I'm gonna just let you know. Hey, and by the way, I think it was a 33-year-old just recently, the other day or the other night, got pulled over for doing 130 miles an hour.
That's a little fast.
A little fast?
That's a little fast.
Great, but they're not going to rescind it. I know you put your plea in with those members from the House.
All you can do is ask.
Well, you asked.
The worst they can say is no.
But that was a great conversation, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of the feedback, Greg, and we both get different feedback from folks, but a lot of the feedback that I've received, man, it was good because it was looking at this issue from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, but not only that issue, but just other ways of how, and I was about to call him commissioner because I knew him as Commissioner Bankston beforehand, but how Representative Bankston and Representative Anton, although they are in opposite parties, how much respect they have for each other, how much they have worked together. I think one of the bills that Representative Anton brought forth dealing with the Tuskegee Airmen, also his bill to continue to have funds in the coffers for his HBCUs here in the state, and how Bankston, Representative Bankston was fully in support, and how Representative Bankston had moved to have the state to return to the gold standard, and how Representative Anton was in support of that.
Well, you read on one, but Greg, here's the other piece.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how when we can bring what people say don't happen right in front of them?
Right. And I mean, but the big takeaway from that was the fact that although they may not necessarily agree with what's taking place with the property tax issue, they still were able to have a meaningful conversation about it.
You're right.
And I think that is what is missing in today's conversation or political conversations, is that people feel like if you disagree with someone, you can't be cordial and friendly with those individuals.
Right.
You still can. So,
well, that was definitely something that Let's Talk Nation was able to bring to people, man.
Absolutely.
And just to see those guys, while they could agree on the objectives, may disagree on how to get there. It was good to see Representative Bankston and Representative Bruce Anton sit at the table and have a civil, hearty discussion.
Well, now here's a big question, though. When are we going to talk to Representative Sapp?
You're right.
Representative Sapp is a freshman House representative from Putnam County.
I believe he did
in
say
the Putnam
it was,
County area.
Yeah.
Who has apparently been given some great ideas based off of some great thoughts about how to handle, funding, different municipalities if property taxes are severely affected the way that a lot of folks think they will be. And so it'll be great to have a conversation with him to kind of get his thoughts and ideas as well.
Greg, you're absolutely correct. Hey, Greg, once we look at the elections taking place in November.
Yep.
Once the new governor and the new state elected officials are seated, I think the process by sitting down and starting to talk about the next legislative session, more than likely is going to start either in December or January.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, you have the pre-committee meetings that take place.
That's right. Okay.
So it's going to be very interesting. So you're right, though. We do need to definitely reach out to Representative Sapp's office and just have another hearty conversation.
Absolutely. Now, kind of speaking and staying on the topic of politics. I mean, I've been gone I was gone for a couple of weeks. I'm now back 2 weeks in a row.
And I got to give Doc some credit now. Doc has been filling in, man, and doing a hard
job. I heard Doc Polite. I heard Brother Burns was jumping in. I believe I heard somebody else. But yeah, I mean, listen, man, I've been here, and I keep my ears close to the ground when I'm not here sitting at the desk. But was there any conversation had about the change in the governor's race here in the state of Florida?
I mean, one of the changes, I mean, we did have that conversation, and I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
Mayor Deming.
Yeah.
That was, we did have a discussion on that. For those that are still unfamiliar, Mayor Deming suspended his campaign for governor.
Yeah.
For health reasons.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's focusing on his health, on his family, but the one thing that I hope was discussed and wasn't missed is to thank Mayor Deming for his years, decades of public service. He and his family,
40-some years.
His wife, his kids, I believe, are firefighters and things of that nature. They have, given to this community and to this county and to the state in ways that we cannot ignore and never will ignore. And regardless of where he would have landed in the governor's race, it was great to see him step up yet again in a willingness to serve. So I didn't get a chance to say this because I wasn't here, but to the extent that it was said, I just want to echo what Brother Love has said, what Doc Polite has said, what everyone has said with regards to Mayor Deming. Take care of yourself, hope your health is well, enjoy your time with your family, but we really appreciate you for your service. So.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And just a footnote, because Greg, I still have to commend Mayor Deming, because when he came out and made his public announcement, it also was, to me, educational from the perspective that saying to men, go get your prostate checked. You know, there's no beating around the bush. Go get your prostate checked. Check your PSAs, I believe it is, Greg. Man, we can't say any more about it. And I think, Greg, on Let's Talk Nation, we're going to be doing a special segment just from an educational standpoint. We want people to live a long life. So on that note, Greg, what else do we have? Because we have a couple of incredible guests.
Oh man, listen, man, I'm looking forward to getting to talk to our guests tonight. We actually have two special guests that are going to be joining us here shortly. But we also have a young lady that I understand is running for Seminole County Commission.
Yes.
Ms. Santos. I don't know if she'll get a chance to talk to us, but hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to her, meet her in the very near future, and see what her campaign is like, and seeing if it's something that we can pump out there and support. So
absolutely. Well, tell you what, here's what we want to do, because we want to keep this train on schedule. I know Doc has a couple of commercials ready to go, and then we'll be right back with our guests for this evening. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk Nation. Brother Jackson.
Yes, sir.
I told you it was going to be exciting, right?
You did tell me it was going to be exciting, man, and I am excited to be here and to have this conversation that we get ready to have with the dynamic young lady. You want to do the introductions? You want me to do the introductions?
Nobody can do introductions like you, Brother Jackson, so I'm going to go ahead.
But you know what? I want to do this introduction because about 2 months ago, I think it was,
yes,
we had a young man in the Studio B, and had a great conversation with the young man who talked to us about his time and
dropping nuggets on us.
Yeah, in the Supreme Court for the great state of Florida, and his contributions to helping out in the great state of Georgia when only 3 African Americans were passing the bar at a time. The reason why I'm excited about this is because a great apple doesn't fall from a great tree. And right now, Brother Lovin, and I don't want to miss nothing. So let me get my little cheat sheet, because I don't want to miss nothing. I want to do this right. I got to do this right. So beside us, in between us, we have Miss Perry, who is running for Circuit Court Judge, the 9th Judicial Circuit. And let me just tell you a little bit about Miss Perry before we get into this dynamic conversation. She brings more than 2 decades of legal, administrative, academic, and civic leadership experience. She earned both a law degree and MBA with honors. Not the regular folks, not the regular people like me. I was the regular people. She got honors from Stetson University and began her legal career in business litigation with respected Florida law firms, including Carlton Fields. So you don't know nothing about Carlton Fields. I know about Carlton Fields. And Phelps Dunbar. Her practice has included labor, employment law, commercial litigation, insurance defense, business tort, white-collar crime, white-collar criminal defense, and public utility matters. Very diverse. She became the partner of Perry Law Group, and more importantly, Brother Love, she continues to serve because at this point she is also an adjunct professor at the Florida A&M University College of Law, one of my alma maters opened up undergrad. But we welcome to our platform, soon to be, Judge Perry.
Thank you for having me. I received all of that. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And Greg, nobody does introductions like Greg. And I like how he started talking about that young man that was in the studio.
That young man that was in the studio. But I cannot just kind of skirt over that. This interview is all about you. But I cannot skirt over the pedigree that you come from. There is no me. Oh, no. No. And Greg, I know, stop me, man, if I go too far.
I'm going to stop you about it.
But you are the daughter of former Supreme Court Justice James Perry. Yes. He was in our studio a couple of months ago, and Greg had the honor and the privilege. It was an interview, but Greg turned it into a docuseries. You know how Greg did. But the nuggets that your father dropped on us. And hopefully Greg and I, Let's Talk Nation, will get the permission soon to start releasing those nuggets on social media. But
we know the pedigree of which you come, and once again, we're just overjoyed that you would join us this evening. And so one of the things about Let's Talk Nation is, and Greg started this stuff. We throw balls and strikes, and I mean we make them come fast.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
So Greg, man, I'm gonna go ahead and pass.
I mean, listen, the most logical way of starting this conversation is, why is it that you are running for circuit court judge?
Well, the short answer is essentially that I am really concerned about public confidence in the system overall in general, not just the criminal justice system, but in government.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what you believe, what your ideology is, everyone wakes up every day kind of feeling like this is different.
Right.
We're in some different, bizarre times, and no one seems to have any level of ease about what's going to happen. And I feel like the last place you need to go and have to wonder what's going to happen to you is in the courtroom.
You're right.
You should know exactly what the rules are before you start to play the game. And I want to be part of a system that is consistent with the law and respects the law as written. And judges play the roles that they are supposed to play through the Constitution.
Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this question. You know, judicial temperament matters deeply in public confidence. So based on your career as a litigator, administrator, professor, legal counsel, how would you describe the temperament you would bring to the bench?
Well, you know what's funny about that? Everybody kind of talks about I'd be fair and even-tempered. I'd keep my patience. But what does that really mean? Like, what are we really talking about? I think temperament is a characteristic that you either have or you don't have.
Yeah.
And I think it boils down to whether or not you have an ego. Because when you have an ego and someone comes to you and you don't like the way they're talking, or you don't like what you're hearing, or they're not saying the things you want them to say the way you want them to say it, then all of a sudden now you're personally engaged. And I think if you do not have an ego, it is much easier to keep your temperament, to be calm and cool and collected, no matter what kind of comes at you. Yeah. So I think that I'm kind of blessed to have been born as a person that's kind of even anyway, but I also feel like I don't have an ego. Yeah. And it really take a lot to get me riled up. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever been riled up.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, one of the other things also, and this is just me personally, because I'm in a lot of courtrooms, you know, from here to, you know, Alachua County to Levy County to Orange County, all over the place. And more, I'm starting to see judges that don't necessarily have trial experience. How important is that, and what does that help you to bring to the job as a judge?
I think trial experience is very important, but I also kind of realize that most of a judge's time is spent doing hearings and evidentiary proceedings and things like that.
The motion practice.
Motion practice, yeah. And so I think, you know, I don't begrudge any judges that haven't had 300 trials, because that's very, very rare. Like it is impossible. Very few. Most cases settle. What was 99% of cases settle?
85 to 90%.
Yeah, and they settle right on the courthouse steps. So I think that, but I do think trial experience is important, but I think it's more important for a judge to have the litigation experience, to understand what the rules of evidence are, how they're supposed to be applied, understand what lawyers have to go through to get to trial.
That's true. Yeah.
And then they can, you know, then it's easier to navigate.
So talk to us about your experience as an educator, because a lot of what I've seen judges do to some extent is to carry a courtroom and to keep everyone kind of on the straight and narrow. How does your educational background in terms of adjunct professor lend to your ability to become a judge? Or how would it, I should say?
Ironically, I think being a teacher is helpful, but I think being the general counsel and executive director of the state attorney's office is a lot more, has lended itself a lot more to that skill set, because I have had to run a $37 million organization while overseeing several departments: HR, fiscal, IT, public records, records management, public information, compliance, legal compliance, lobbying the legislature. Like, I have so many buckets that I had to make sure were working, and nothing fell through the cracks. And I think that experience of organization at a high level management will help me manage a docket in a courtroom effectively and efficiently, because that's all I ever know how to do.
That's a great point.
Well, I got to tell you, just by answering that question, you done had me slash a couple of questions on my sheet. But let me jump to one so that you don't answer it in advance, because many voters don't fully understand what a circuit judge does. What would you do? What would you want the public to know about the role of a circuit court judge, and why should judicial races receive more serious attention from the community than they normally historically have received?
That is a good question.
That's
because I am floored sometimes when I'm out here talking to people and they say to me, "You're running for judge? Oh, are you a lawyer?" They don't have any idea. They are clueless. And I say, yeah, I'm in circuit court. Oh, what is circuit court? They don't know the difference between county and circuit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, because that means they probably have never been involved in a judicial system. So that's good. But the most important role to me, in my opinion, is the judiciary. I think the judiciary is more important than the president, the vice president, any federal election, because your circuit judge is your first line of defense to people trying to violate your rights.
Yeah.
The first people that hear cases that come, like the redistricting map.
Mm-hmm.
The first challenge of that goes to the circuit court judge.
That's right.
So you have to have good judges at the very, very, very level, the trial level first, to protect whatever is it may be happening or not happening.
Yeah.
So
because you have to think about it to that point. Remember the 2000 election. With Bush and Gore.
Mm-hmm.
When the hanging Chad issue came up, that went to a circuit court judge up in Tallahassee.
Yes, and that affected the entire country.
That's right, and the people. That is a great.
Yes,
point.
so that is the
right.
I think being the judicial race is the most important. I mean, these are the people that are controlling your family, your finances, and your freedom.
Listen, you get divorced, who you got to go see?
The judge.
Yeah.
If you have an issue or something comes up with the family issue, you got to determine who gets what. Who you going to see?
The judge.
You're right.
You get in trouble and law enforcement drags you in front of the court. Who you got to see?
The judge.
So yeah, you're right.
But
You're right.
this is. I mean, I'm glad that you're here, because Greg and I mean, we've had. Matter of fact, when we was on radio, Greg, we had about 3 judges that were running at the time, and they're still judges today.
That's
and you
true.
love to talk about our batting.
Oh,
average.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a
So you made it happen.
we got a nice little track record. We got a nice little track record.
But I think it's important that what we're doing right now, and we're speaking to the general public so that you can become educated about, we see races for commissioners and mayors, but we haven't historically seen people have these conversations about why it's important to look at who you're elected for your judge.
That's right. That's right. But here's a question I have, because a lot of what we do is we introduce not just the candidate, but the person. And so in introducing the person, Ms. Perry, I want to know, when the decision came to run for judge, what was that conversation around the table like with Justice Perry?
Oh, man.
Good question. I like
that. The pride that washes over him anytime he talks about it is indescribable. And I'm so grateful that I can make him proud because of how proud he's made me. He has always said, I'm never going to push you to do anything you don't want to do. If you don't want to be a lawyer, go do what you want to do. Go make baskets, just as long as you're happy.
Right.
So he's never pressured me directly. However, I do remember coming home from college and him giving me the LSAT pamphlets. And win a test, and win an application and things like that. So I know that he's always wanted me to follow in his footsteps. And he and my brother and I are both attorneys. My brother ran for judge in Seminole County in 2012.
Okay.
And that was unsuccessful. And so now I'm working on it, and he's very proud. And as a matter of fact, he lives in Seminole County, but he wears my Perry for Judge T-shirts all over town, like they can vote for me in Seminole County.
But they have friends. I mean, listen, people go talk.
That's what he said. Absolutely. He said, you don't know who people are, where they live.
We wind down to what we call rapid fire. We're down to 5 minutes in the show. So what we want you to do is, you see that little red light over there? We want you to look at that light, and we want you to tell people what they need to know about you in your run for circuit judge. Why? And the question, Greg, we ask everybody.
Yeah.
Telling people why they need to vote for you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you have to have a judge with experience and a judge that understands litigation and understands what the ramifications are when a judge doesn't get it right. Yeah. Because if you have a judge that is inexperienced, they may fumble and make mistakes. And it's normal to make mistakes, but it's not good to make mistakes with people's lives.
That's right.
So I am very confident in my ability, because I'm a kind of person, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night without knowing that I made the right decision. And I think the best judges are the ones that are not afraid to overturn themselves, that will say, you know what, I did not consider that. Thank you, counsel, for bringing that to my attention. You know what, I changed my mind. And that goes back to the ego thing. You have to have a judge that does not have an ego and understands that the power they yield is so powerful that they have got to yield it carefully. And they have to know exactly what they're doing and make sure that they're making the right decision. I think a good judge is a judge that knows when to hold people accountable and when to give second chances. And they have to know the difference. And I think a good judge is a judge who also knows their own potential implicit biases and knows when they're making a decision. Am I making a decision because I know this or because I think I know this? Am I going to make sure I understand what the facts are, or am I assuming some of these facts and making a decision based on what I think I know versus what I know that I know? So those are all attributes that I plan to bring to the bench. And I think I really want people to research and look us up and make sure that we're the type of people that you want on the bench. And don't skip. A lot of people don't vote down ballot. They just say, I don't know what this is, and they skip them. Get your ballot, research, and do it in advance so you know who you're voting for.
Absolutely. Now, here's the other question also. When does early voting start?
August 18th.
August 18th. Mm-hmm. And so that means that you can go out at
I'm sorry, early voting. The election is August 18th. Early voting starts August 8th.
August 8th. All right. So listen, so that means that August 8th, you can start to go out to the various precincts. You don't have to go to your designated precinct during early voting time. We want you to go out. We want you to be participatory in the process. When Ms. Perry leaves, we'll talk a little bit more about what I want you to do in this particular case. I don't want to do that with her with me. And then also the actual election is August 18th.
Yes.
And so if you're not able to make it out for early voting, put it on your calendars for August 18th to then make it to your designated precinct and to go out and make your voice heard. And again, as I said, when Ms. Perry is not in my presence, I'll talk to you all more about that. So.
Okay.
Well, once again, we want to thank you for being on Let's Talk Nation. I just got to tell you what you're doing. You're educating people. And you and Greg used this word, and Greg, you used to talk about how good my segues are.
No, you talking about how bad they were.
Well, you talked about how bad, but I made them better because you talked about how bad they were. So here's one that I noticed, and this is not even a segue in anything. You were using the vernacular good judges. And when Greg made the introduction of you, and I don't know if you saw this, but Greg started talking about good apples, and talking about good apples don't fall too far from the tree. And I got to say to you, I've known your father for some years. I've seen you operate with the state attorney's office. And man, I tell you, the professionalism that you've exhibited, Greg kicks me underneath the table sometime when we're here talking facts. He said, Brother Love, get the emotion out of it. Let's talk facts. I appreciate what you've been able to do over the years. And Ms. Perry, I'm rooting for you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it.
So for those of you who are tuned in to Let's Talk Nation, you got an opportunity. Go ahead.
Where can they find your campaign? Let them know where they can
easy. KamilahPerryForJudge.com.
And Doc, make sure we get that down on the screen because we want folks to see it. So,
like they say, when you're in radio, you say it more than once. Even though we're on video, say it one more time.
www.KamilahPerryForJudge.com.
Hey, for those of you who are tuned in, you got a treat tonight. You got another treat coming up in another few minutes. But hey, stay tuned to us. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. That was fun. Yeah. Thank you.
Joe's European Quality Auto Repair.
Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, Jaguars, and Porsche. Joe's Quality Auto Repair specializes in European cars. Joe's Quality Auto Repair is located at 1240 State Road, 436 in Altamont Springs. Stop paying a king's ransom for your foreign auto repairs. Call Joe's Quality Auto Repair, mention Let's Talk Nation, and he'll beat certified dealership repair quotes by 30%. Call Joe's Quality Auto Repair at 407-409-6040. Again, 407-409-6040 for the best affordable and guaranteed European auto repairs.
Love. Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk Nation. Man, those of you who are tuned in, great. Man, I tell you, the candidates that are out there, man, that we're bringing on Let's Talk Nation, and the invitation is always open to
Well, I don't know if I want to say everybody because we just.
I mean, no, it's open to everybody. I mean, it's just a matter of what they get when they get here.
Yeah. You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Y'all didn't give me a way to break in. I wanted to fanboy over the judge, man. He and I have been for the last couple of weeks, man. I was telling Rod, I was like, man, this guy has so much knowledge. It's like sitting at the foot of a giant.
Yeah.
And they just point it out. And I always admire men of that stature, and he is a giant, man. Them stories he got. I mean, when you talk about the civil rights and all of these people that he knows, and then we both knew the former mayor of Augusta, Ed McIntyre, was the first black mayor, and he knew him, and I knew him personally. So
and Doc, you just jumped in there, man. We talking about Justice Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Doc, I gotta say, you and Greg did an incredible job, man, and I look forward to the moment that we get authorization to release some of those nuggets. But the interview that Greg conducted with Justice Perry, and you facilitated it on the executive production side, man. I mean, when you listen to those different nuggets, and Doc, as you mentioned, when he took us back in time and told us what the reaction was when MLK, when it
how it affected him while he was he's in the military, Doc. Remember you was talking about that?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's living history.
Oh yeah.
And how do you not embrace living history?
Well, listen, I mean, but to your point also, just imagine as enamored as we are with listening to the stories that he has to tell, the person who got to sit at his feet day in and day out, growing up as a young lady, in the person of Miss Perry, being there, hearing that, and now being able to create her own part of history, so to speak, and running for judge.
Man. And you're right, because this is something I remind our buddy over there about his girls. I tell them all the time, they can't pick a wrong husband. He's the Rolls Royce of dads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to who I'm next to when you talk about Kennedy.
Listen, I got girls too. I got 2 girls.
Hey, don't put them on the Rolls Royce, man. Put them on the Bentley stand, man. Put them on the Bentley stand.
We'll call him a Kia Stinger. He's the Kia Stinger of dads.
I say Bentley. He say Kia.
Audi. Hey, my car is a race car, so
All right, hey, you and Greg keep it up with that 100-mile-an-hour thing. Keep that thing going on now. Hey,
I'm trying, Doc. I'm trying to get him to.
I watched Rob with his daughters and how he pours into them.
Mm-hmm.
And you the same way, and it makes me think about when my girls were that age and what it means later in life in their choice and decisions. Yeah. Because when you sit at the foot of somebody that you see with a mind and a plan, and they have a framework by which they live, you don't make those stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
You just it's not in your DNA.
Man,
so anyway, we got our next guest ready to come in.
Only thing I'm gonna add to it is it ain't easy. And Greg, you got your girl too.
Yeah. So but listen, it's a journey that I would take time and time again if I had to.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's time. But one thing about it, and I'm just telling y'all because I'm a little bit older than y'all. I'm like y'all big brother, but it's a transition.
Yeah.
You got to transition that relationship because I see far too many adults who overstay that place in their children's life, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
Hey Doc, let me ask you: Do we have an individual in the green room with us?
Yes, she is ready. The beautiful Miss Walton is here and ready.
Walton Johnson, man, Walton Johnson.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, hey, will y'all introduce her?
You got it?
Brother Jackson, I put that in front of you, brother.
All right, listen, man. So we have just had an opportunity to talk to Miss Perry, who is running for circuit court judge. We're now getting ready to have a conversation with another young lady, but she's not running for judge. She's running for clerk of courts. Mm-hmm. And clerk of courts, they oversee the administration of the court systems, how things are handled, the keeping of the paperwork, the budgets, and all of the other things. And Ms. Walton comes to us with a number of years of experience. She too is a barrister as well. So that is important, that if someone is going to be a clerk of courts, you want to make sure that they understand what lawyers have to deal with and what lawyers have to go through and deal with in that courthouse, in that courtroom, how to make our jobs easier. And case in point, when Tiffany Moore Russell, who is the current clerk of courts, when she became the clerk of courts, I could tell a difference in how things were run and how easy it was to access documents and things like that. And working in that department with that agency, along with Miss Moore Russell, I know that Miss Walton Johnson brings that same level of experience. In addition, she has served and has been involved with Orange County Government Board of Zoning Adjustments, the Florida Office of State Courts Administrators Domestic Violence Advisory Committee, multiple Florida bar committees, and several Florida Clerk of Courts and Comptrollers Association committees, including best practices, legal, and court operations. I don't want to take too much time talking about what's on this paper. I want to talk to the one, the only, the incomparable Miss Roberta Walton Johnson.
Hello. Welcome to
Hello. Oh my God. Thank you, gentlemen. It's so good to be here. I'm excited about this.
Listen, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. So how things been going?
Listen, busy, right? Campaigning is busy work. And Orange County is a large county, but we're doing our very best to get our message across, to share with as many people as we possibly can, to provide some visibility for this very important campaign. It's a very important race. It's a special election, so it was added about a little over 3 weeks ago, and it was announced that it's actually going to be held August 18th. So we're moving warp speed.
So let me ask you. So finding out that you have an election that's going to be taking place in about 3 weeks. How do you get your mind ready, and how do you make that decision to say, hey, I want to run for clerk of courts? What was that decision making process like for you?
So I'll be honest with you, politics is a familiar scene for me. So I did start shopping the idea. I started meeting with stakeholders. Hey, I'm hearing that the clerk is going to run for a different seat. And if that's the case, she's going to have to resign. What would that look like, right? And as you stated in my intro, I work at the agency. So, that included going to sit down with HR. Like, what would that look like for me? And so I did that for about a year, and ultimately came to the decision that, yes, I want to run. But administratively, I needed to wait for the sitting clerk to actually officially resign.
Right.
And so once that resignation happened, and it kind of, I'll be honest with you, it made everything make sense because she resigned on my birthday.
What a present. Right.
What a present, right?
Yeah, now get to work. That's what she said. Happy birthday.
Exactly.
Now get to work.
Happy birthday. Let's go. And it came with an endorsement from her,
nice.
frankly. So very nice. And so once she resigned, I moved forward to transition to run for clerk here in 2026. And so because I am community oriented, means I do a lot of work out here in the community. People know what I do, and a lot of them have been a benefactor as to what I contribute. So telling the story is not difficult. It's telling it broadly in such a very short time span is what I'm up against.
So one of the things that I noticed and I recognize, and I'm not going to call any names of any of the candidates, but one of the things I will point to is the fact that I believe that you're the only lawyer, barrister, who is in this race. And I've been in the courthouse 1 or 2 times. I can't, I don't go there very much, tongue in cheek. But why is it important to have someone who understands the clerk's office, not just from the standpoint of working there and being there, but also as an attorney who's had to deal with the various shortcomings or the great things with? Why is that, or how does that work in your favor or as an advantage?
So practically speaking, when you think about the courthouse, you think about practitioners, right? because that's the language. That's our playground.
Right.
And so being able to cross-regulate and have communications and partner with the other justice partners, and we call them justice stakeholders, i.e. court administration, right? And that's all your judges. And certainly they have attorneys on that side as well. And then your state attorney's office, right? All attorneys. Your public defender, all attorneys. You need to be in a position when you are sitting at the table to understand what's happening, right? And you do that by training. You do that by adapting a skill set over time. Now, certainly we've had clerks in the past that were not attorneys, but that meant that they were going to get on that training ground, right? And then work towards catching up to really understand what's going on. When you have a practitioner in this seat, that person walks in on day one, understanding what's happening and being able to communicate back and forth with those partners. And so I think that's just extremely, extremely important. And so I've been telling people, yes, you can run for clerk and not be an attorney. You probably shouldn't, but you can.
Yeah.
Ms. Walton Johnson, thank you once again for joining us this evening.
Absolutely.
And you you do realize the level of education that you're bringing to everybody. Let me ask you this question. Your campaign emphasizes bridging justice and community. What does that mean in the practical terms for everyday residents who may only interact with the clerk's office during a stressful legal, family, financial, or the life event?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right. And that's a great question, because that's the whole premise behind me saying bridging justice and community and connecting you to the courts. Because many people really don't understand the role of the clerk of court. And I find it to literally be the gateway to give you the access to the courts. You have to interface with the clerk's office before you can have your day in court. And so how do we marry those two? How do we make this moment about more than just a crisis? How do we prepare the community should a crisis happen, right? And that is the whole concept behind why I've selected to take my campaign and I'm going to call it my tenure in this seat as an opportunity to bring the community to and educate them about the role of the clerk, about the opportunities to garner access through self-help services, and then to also link up with other organizations throughout the community to expand those community partnerships so that we are really a pass-through, a vehicle that when you do have someone passes away, you understand how to manipulate probate court, right? When you have someone who is facing an eviction, you understand what your rights are as a tenant and your rights as a landlord. Those things are extremely important. And when you are operating in that moment in crisis, you don't always know where to go and who and how to get there. And so that's the rationale behind that.
And, I will tell you that, over the past, I think, 6 to 7 years or so, that the current clerk has been in place, I saw some things almost immediately that helped me as a practitioner to be able to do my job and to help my clients to move through the court systems more easy. And I've also seen some things where normal everyday people, how their lives have benefit. I mean, from the standpoint of being able to find documents that they can use and access and things of that nature.
Yes.
How is it, or tell us the benefit of being able to see this from the past 6 years and how you are either going to continue or expand what you've been seeing in your current role.
So in my current role as general counsel, and I've actually been with the clerk's office over a decade now. I can't believe that. But what's unique about my tenure there is I didn't come in and go straight to the top floor, right? I'm the general counsel and a member of the senior executive team right now in handling the legislative side, which quite frankly gives me that insight. But I started as a leader in operations. And the operations team is the largest team of the clerk's office. That's the bulk of our employees. That's those deputy clerks, right? That's those people who are at our front counters, those people who are in our back offices, those people who are in our courtrooms serving as trial clerks. So I started as a leader in the operations area and led several different operational divisions before I was promoted upstairs. So
you got an opportunity to actually look at the span and continue to look at innovations.
I did. And keep in mind, Brother Love, I started when I walked through the door, I was a customer of the clerk's office, right? And then when I joined that team, I was able to kind of spread my wings. And I walked in kind of like, I understand the clerk's office. No, I did not from behind the scenes.
Wow.
Right.
Because now you're looking at it from a different perspective outside of, and through a different lens. And so I've been able to appreciate that. And for me, you grow and you help draft some of those best practices through that lens. Right now I serve as one of the trainers for our regional best practice team for the Florida Court Clerks and Comptrollers Association. And it's because of my insight of kind of growing within and then rising.
Ms. Walton Johnson, let me say this to you. And here's something, I could throw that away. Let me say this to you, and I say this with all sincerity. When people come on the Let's Talk Nation show with Attorney Jackson and myself, most people use the vernacular and interview. And right now, what I'm feeling with you is the job interview, and I love the passion, I love the edge of the seat that you're bringing to this, because what you're doing is something that Attorney Jackson and I talk to people about all the time, and that is, and Greg, you say it best, but you're earning people's vote, you're earning people's trust, and that's what's impressive.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So here's the big question, and this is always my favorite question, because everyone knows that I have been a candidate for a couple different political seats. What was the conversation like with the family to get yourself? What was the conversation like with the family and saying, "Hey, listen, I'm getting ready to do this."
And you know what, Attorney Jackson, you know me, right? We've served together civically, and so I roll with a tribe, right? I have a village. And so it required a family meeting, right? It required one that I had to feed them, right? So I announced over the holidays that I was kind of thinking about it. And I had the oldest, the matriarch of my family, my aunt, she's 76 years old. She said, absolutely not. And I just laughed. But I said, no, we're doing this. And you saw everybody looked around. We're doing this because you're gonna have the conversations like it's not you doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you, and I call this a blessing. I got married in 2021, remarried, right? In 2021, second time is good favor, and so my husband loves it. He is so excited.
Nice.
God did that.
Well, listen, has he had to walk yet? That's the question.
He's walked. I put him on the side of the road.
Oh,
yeah. Listen, he is all in. He's extremely excited about it, and I'll tell you, my kids are too, because they grew up in this, right? And so train up a child. My kids grew up volunteering. You got drug here, so this is what you're going to do. Same thing with my nieces. I'm one of two. I have a younger brother. So and he has two girls. I have two boys. Everybody is all in.
Nice.
And the beauty of what you're just saying, because it's not a you.
Right.
It is a family affair.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah. Because you know what, when you've been out walking or you're dealing with some people and they're beating you up, you got to be able to go to a safe place with people who are going to hold you up and keep you propped up. So
I tell people, I don't know, I don't care who tried to talk you into running for office. Whoever is with you on the front end is who you in with.
Right. That is right. And you're right. You know, I forgot until I was going through your bio. We did serve together on the Board of Zoning Adjustments together. That's right. Yeah.
I'm still there, by the way.
Nice, man, very nice. And so wait, you're doing all of this and you're still on the BZA?
Listen, I have a meeting on Thursday.
So the question is, when do you sleep? That's the real question.
Well, you're not supposed to sleep.
You're not supposed to sleep.
Not while you're campaigning.
You know, your public service is something, man. I tell you, because something that you just mentioned, now I'm putting the pieces together. We've all served on the BZA.
Yeah. Yes.
And I mean, you have homework.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
And you'll learn quickly, if you don't do your homework, you don't want to be the one sitting up there
trying to figure it out on the fly.
Nope. But you know what, though? You know, in the spirit of the Board of Zoning and Adjustments, and I have to give them a plug, we learned so much, right? You know, people coming to the Board of Zoning and Adjustments show me, you know, how much we need housing, right? Mm-hmm. And how, just because of how zoning is right now, we have so many families coming before trying to get special exceptions for, you know, to build onto their house because, you know, either, you know, my kid went away to college and came back and can't a full-time job and still can't afford to be on his own, or I need to move my aging parents in. So there's still I find that venue is an opportunity, you know, that I'm seeing that what can I do as the clerk to help expand those opportunities, to help keep people housed. And so, you know, one of my initiatives is an eviction diversion program, right?
Oh, that's great.
Right. I tell people all the time, you know, right now, you know, you can make a mistake on the criminal side, and then go to a program and go through the full compliance of that program, work with the state attorney, and guess what? They'll waive it, right? Adjudication withheld, diversion accepted. Well, you get behind 1 month in your rent and somebody files an eviction, what happens?
Yeah.
It just sits there. And even if you made it right with the landlord, it still sits there.
That's right.
And that causes people harm long term because as they try to move on from it, it's still there.
Well, let me tell you, as a constituent of Orange County, just having this conversation with you, and I know the audience that's tuned in, I know everybody's learned. Like you said, Brother Jackson, the
IQs go up, man. That's right. That's right.
But one of the things I'm going to go ahead and throw this in is that because you're on the successful track.
Thank you.
I want to continue to see and hear this education in the community once you fill that seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's my little 2 cents.
So listen, let folks know how they can find your campaign. If they want to volunteer, if they want to donate, let them know what they need to know.
I absolutely will. Please go to voteroberta.com. voteroberta.com. You type it in and it will take you to my website. There you can sign up to volunteer. You can sign up for a yard sign. You can certainly donate. And I want to hear from you. Next week, we're getting ready to roll out attorneys for Roberta. And so we're going to have a list of attorneys signing in, plugging in, saying, hey, I'm with Roberta. Because we want to make sure, and it's not just about attorneys, it's also businesses and community stakeholders, because we're all in this together. Right now, it will also list my endorsements. In addition to the clerk, I'm being endorsed by our state attorney, our public defender, our property appraiser, and my senator, my representative, and several others who are saying, hey, I'm with Roberta. So please visit voteroberta.com so you can learn more about me. And certainly I hope I can have your support on August 18th.
Well, listen, if people aren't, so that people aren't confused, one of the attorneys that's going to be tagging in saying, I support Roberta is going to be Greg Jackson. And I've already spoken about some plans and things that I want to do to help get Miss Roberta's message out there. And so she and I are going to be talking again soon. But I don't want folks to be confused that Greg Jackson has already said that I'm with Roberta. So I want to make that very, very clear. So,
Ms. Walton Johnson, let me tell you, the education that you provided this evening, I truly believe, Greg, aside from the IQs going up,
oh yeah,
I think
that Army is building.
Oh yeah, no doubt,
I think that
no
Army's
doubt.
building.
So yeah, we have some folks that are plugged into Let's Talk Nation now. They're just like, run the name. We want to see who she is. So Doc is running that down on the bottom right now, so the folks can see Roberta.com, and they'll go there. They're gonna see how they can volunteer, donate, endorse, whatever it is they need to do from Let's Talk Nation. So.
Absolutely. That's
Walton
great.
Johnson, thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Nation this evening. And I don't have to even say good luck to you because you're blessed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me.
Hey, thank you. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Hey, Greg, when we talk about rapid fire,
Yeah.
we have a rapid fire right now, man. The candidates for office, man, and the work that they're putting in to tell the people why. I love the question that you asked.
Yeah.
How was that conversation around the
Listen,
around
that's
the
important though. That's important. I mean, if they don't have family support, how are they going to make it through these tough times?
You're right.
I mean, because campaigning, it sounds fun and all the other stuff, but people don't see the behind the scenes.
And
when
it's
you
not
get
easy.
home, when you get home late at night, when you finish an interview, when you have to go and ask people to give you an opportunity to tell them about yourself. I mean, it pulls on you. It pulls on you, and it's a day. It's a job in and of itself. And so that's why I always say, hey, listen, what was that conversation like with the family? So
you and I have done, Greg. Right now, I can't even count the number of interviews we've done over. We're going on 9 years now.
Yeah.
And Greg, here's something that I noticed tonight because we've seen both sides of this.
Yeah.
Both candidates that we interviewed tonight were on the edge of their seat.
Yeah.
They weren't taking this as if it should come to them.
I agree.
And so, man, I'm impressed with that. But, Greg, this is what it's all about, man, bringing this to the Let's Talk Nation audience.
So, listen, once again, we had join us for the first half of the show, Ms. Kamilah Perry. She's running for Circuit Court Judge. We want you to do your homework first and foremost, but we want you to go out and support Ms. Perry. If you feel that she's the right candidate, I feel that she's the right candidate for Circuit Court Judge for the 9th Circuit. Also, Ms. Roberta Walton Johnson, she's running for Clerk of Courts for the 9th Circuit. I've already made my position very clear. And so, we want you to go take a look at their websites, take a look and see what they're all about. We don't want you to do anything without doing your research. But I feel that once you do your research, you will see and understand why it is that they are the two best candidates for the offices that they're running for. So,
and you say best, and I'm gonna say top.
All right, listen, I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that
hey,
too.
So thank everybody for tuning in to Let's Talk Nation this evening. And man, I mean, we're just in some exciting times. And Greg, we are honored that candidates are calling us to say we want to bring our case to Let's Talk Nation.
No doubt. Now, also before we got on the air tonight, I was on a phone call with the mayor of the town of Eatonville.
Yeah.
And so hopefully here in the near future, we'll get a chance to talk to Miss Ruthie Critton. She recently won the election for Eatonville mayor. Eatonville is the oldest chartered municipality, African-American municipality in the country.
Greg, I'm hearing some great things about it already.
Yeah, and listen, and so it's always important to hear the vision, the direction of the individuals who are leading that great community. And I mean, they have a great board that's over there right now. I can name them all. I can go with Councilman Mack. He is one of the council members over at the town of Eatonville. You also have Councilwoman Randolph. You also have Councilwoman Angela Thomas. You also have Councilwoman Jordan. They're all doing a great job leading the town of Eatonville. They don't always agree, but that's what politics is about. Right. It's about the debates, the hard conversations that you have to have in order to move your community forward. And I think that Eatonville is in good hands right now.
Leadership matters.
Leadership matters.
Yeah. And by the way, we got less than 30 seconds, but Greg, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, man, they have a city manager, man, who is
hey,
I'm talking about none other than Marlon Daniels, man.
But Marlon Daniels, I mean, but listen, I have been a fan of Marlon Daniels for a number of years. Loved his mom. Absolutely a gem of the earth. And so his brother also, Rodney Daniels, who was a commissioner, the chief administrative officer Daniels, Marlon Daniels. He was a council member for a while, and now he's taken that experience and he's doing all that he can to push and move Eatonville into the right direction. And then I'll be remiss if I didn't also point out the executive director for the town of Eatonville's Community Redevelopment Agency, Mike Johnson, who has all of the redevelopment up under his belt, and these areas coming together, man. I think, like I said, Eatonville is going to be in good hands. So,
come on, man, let's get the mayor of the town of Eatonville on the show now.
I'm working on it, man. She said she'll do it.
Hey,
She said she'll do
looking
it.
forward to it. Brother Jackson, you've heard this for 9 years, and I know you take it with love,
Yeah.
but you don't have to go home.
But you got to get out of here.
We'll see you next Monday on Let's Talk Nation. Please join us.